This is going to demonstrate what we mean when we say a responsive website or a responsive design website. So what you're looking at now is pretty much the full high definition size screen. So about 1900 pixels wide and 1000 or so high. And the websites I'm going to use as an example here, we've got Finn, we've got Gatto, Mato, Maitland Air Conditioning, Newcastle Rescue, and Opalite. So that's our sort of main full width thing now. I'm going to go down to what's kind of like a kind of typical laptop size. And if you see now, there's less background available on the side of the page, but the website still fits pretty well, and page elements are still there. But there's less effort, less sort of room around the edges, isn't there? Okay. All right. The next step down that we look at is like a vertical tablet, so 1024 pixels wide. And you can see what happens is the menu's got a bit smaller, so it's condensed down, and the page elements have come down a little bit. And that's more evident here where they've reduced in size a little bit. Okay, still collapses down a bit, and everything still fits okay. You're going to get a little bit of imperfection sometimes depending on the length of the lines of text and things like that, but more or less it's fitting. The next step down that I want to look at is, I guess, what you'd think of as a like an iPhone size screen. So it's hard to replicate it exactly on the computer, but so if you have like a fairly wide phone or like a good new phone, this is about what you'd probably see. And you can see we've got the navigation now is collapsed into a top menu, depending on the width of the page. Okay. So I guess that you'd probably call that like a phablet size. So, kind of like a big phone. And then if you drop down to what's kind of considered like classic iPhone size, so that's around that sort of number of pixels, but it probably like visually will look a bit more like that. So I've dragged that down to kind of a minimum width. And then you can see that it puts everything into a column. And just makes it easier to scroll. So that's the idea of like your mobile responsive website, is that you are giving a kind of best case view on lots of different screen sizes, and you adapt whether things are in rows or columns depending on the size of the screen.